around. Do this. Go live on Facebook. Let's go. Let's get this thing started. Dude, I always cross my fingers when it gets to this point because I used to do this there's probably 3 times when I got kicked off, and I was like, oh hell no, it's not gonna happen again. Because I used to do it from my bar, bro, but I have terrible service. I saw that. Everyone's like, yo, why are you not at the bar? And I'm like, well, I kind of have terrible service all the way back there. So good thing that we're live. I'm gonna monitor the chat here. Letting you know that we're live. So, all right, let's go ahead and get this baby started. Perfect, right on cue. All right, everybody, welcome back. This is Tequila Transactions, episode number 16. And before we get the music mood going right here, let's pause that. We'll come back to that later, guys. But first and foremost, I want to thank my buddy Ron for joining us today. My buddy Ron Pratte from JVM Lending, one of the best lenders out in the Bay Area. Probably one of my go-tos, and there's a reason for it. We'll dive into that in a second. But first and foremost, we're going to kind of kick off the show, if that's cool with you, brother. And then we'll pass the mic over to you and pretty much let everybody know who you are, introduce yourself, and then we'll dive in and start drinking some tequila.
Absolutely, man. Let's do it.
All right, cool. All right, so let me go ahead and share this little promo video with you guys so we can kick this baby off. And I am pretty much monitoring the entire chat that's going down right now on Facebook Live. So if you guys have questions for me, for Ron, about tequila and whatever, you guys just drop a little question in here. We'll see it on the comment section. We'll see it. We'll answer it as we go along. But first and foremost, let's go ahead and kick this baby off. Without further ado, go ahead and do this. Right. So fun fact, that's a little video I did up with one of my good buddies. Okay. And so piece of it, majority of it is actually done in my brother's house that we remodeled. I may or may not have gotten his permission for that. But mainly we shoot a lot of the footage inside my family's bar room where we have been collecting since I was a baby. And now it's kind of up to the kids every Father's Day, every birthday for my dad. We kind of just keep adding to the collection. But I was just telling Ron that I love doing the show there. I just have shitty internet. So it's like for me, when I'm trying to stream, it's like you guys get the background, but you get me all kind of distorted and the audio is not good. So it's not a lot of fun. So we're here at the office. And first and foremost, going to introduce my buddy Ron here, let him kind of take the mic over. He's going to chat a little bit about himself, introduce himself and who he works for. And then while you're doing that, bro, I'm going to pour up a drink. So.
Awesome, man. Well, I am a little bummed to not be at the bar location. Like, I'm glad that the audio and hopefully all the technical whatnot is going on well, but that bar does look like a fun spot, so I might need an invite there.
Yeah, we'll be there for sure. for sure.
What's going on, everyone? My name is Ron Pratte. I am a business development officer here at JVM Lending. We're located in Walnut Creek, as Ricky mentioned, been partnered with him for a long time. A little bit about myself personally. I've been with JVM since last year. I've had an interesting professional career over the last several years. So I really got started in Silicon Valley, working in startup tech. So everything from real estate tech to help real estate agents be able to be more efficient with their lead generation using analytics. I did SEO consultation in the city, a couple different things. And what was funny is it always kind of brought me back to helping agents. I always had a realtor client in whatever field I was selling in, working within. And when I got the call from JVM last year during the pandemic, a lot of companies I thought it was interesting, weren't hiring, were having to lay people off. And there was JVM calling saying, hey, we're growing, we're having our best year ever. We're expanding our team and we want you on the business development team. And so what's cool about that is what I love about my role every day is we work as a team of specialists at JVM, and my specialty role is working with real estate agents, our partners, not just letting them know about JVM, the services that we can provide to their clients, but also helping them actively grow their business, whether that's with lead generation strategies like SEO, online reputation management, things of that sort. I love, helping small business owners be more successful. And that's what, every real estate agent's looking to do. So 100%, always coming in with tips, tricks, things I've learned over the years, even just general sales knowledge. I've been dropping this book recommendation, The Challenger Sale. We just read over at the team, and I've been spreading the good news. So anything I can do to, help make somebody a bit more efficient or better what they do every day, I'm here to help.
Awesome, man. That's great. And we'll touch on a little bit more of that later. But as Ron alluded to, JVM structure is completely different. Not a traditional brokerage for loans. Like they're not your traditional lender. And I think that's what sets them apart from the entire competition is the way they're able to work, the way they're able to meet deadlines. And I say they under promise, over deliver every single time. So, but did you ever cold call? I think you cold called me at your old job, bro.
Honestly,
you probably did cold call me.
I probably did. I mean, if I had like a tally mark on my own for every cold call I made in my life, I'd be tattooed up. So yeah, it's possible.
All right, man. I'm gonna grab this here. So this is you guys know my handy dandy shot glass. So what do you want to do? You want to start with this first and then work our way to the rocks tequila?
Yeah, man. I think your bottle
is it Terramana? Is that what it's called?
So we got the Terramana, which is the Rock's official tequila, and I figured if Dwayne Johnson can drink it, we can drink it, right?
I'm with that, man. I haven't had it yet, so there's always a first. Last time I was hanging out with Victor Reyes, he brought some mezcal. We had some mezcal. He brought E40's tequila. Man, we literally hung out like 2 or 3 hours after the show last time, and we had sober up, guys. We got a little too carried away. We had a lot of fun though. We had some deep conversations. Awesome. And that's what tequila does. It brings out some, the honesty in one another. It brings out the stories. It brings out, I would say kind of those kind of vibes that you get from folks that you kind of want to stick around. You kind of get that inviting feel, like you feel like your family. That's why we drink tequila, to be honest with you guys. So first and foremost, this is what I'm drinking today. This is Tres Generaciones, one of my favorite añejos right now. Don't love the bottle. I was telling Ron, I was talking a lot of shit about the bottle before we got on here, but ultimately, this is my favorite version. This is the original version of this bottle. You guys may not have seen me drink this before. Same tequila, nothing different about it. Same great tequila, but the bottle's different. That's why for me, it's like this is much more appeasing to me. Like as far as like this is like a black metal kind of finish here. You got the black top. You got the really nice design of the agave right on the side of the bottle there. So you got the little leaves from the agave there. This is just like 3 little stripes on the bottle. Don't really love it. I know what they were trying to do. They still have the kind of cool little like engravings or indentations in the bottle there as well, but not a big fan. But ultimately, we're still going to drink it. We're still going to enjoy it. But the little background story on this, guy. So añejo tequila obviously is always going to be darker in color. Ron has a reposado. As you can see, it's more a brownish yellow, more of that classic tequila look. So we've talked about it before on the show, but typically what they're doing is once it's done with the aging process, they're going to distill this one last time to remove the color and any imperfections. So you're left with this clear aged añejo tequila, and it's extremely smooth, extremely delicious. If you stick to this all night and you're drinking water, you will not wake up with a hangover. I may or may not have just guaranteed something, but it's very, very true. If you're drinking good liquor, if you're hydrating, you're gonna be fine. It's when you start mixing stuff or you start drinking shit with a lot of juice and sugar, that's where you're gonna get the hangover. But the key is good tequila, a little bit of sparkling water to hydrate. Drink some water, so you'll be fine. So yeah, let me pour you up. You got your glass, bro. I'll pour you up one. I know you got the whole kit there to make palomas, and Ron will talk about palomas in a minute. I don't want to steal his thunder.
Hell yeah.
But I don't know if you want to drink it straight, because you can, or there's this Trader Joe's sparkling blueberry lemonade that probably tastes delicious. So I'll let you.
I'll do right by it and at least take a
Yeah,
sip. You know?
I'll join you. Let's do that, and then probably chase it with a little bit of soda. But
Sounds good.
it's tequila, all right? Cheers, salud.
Cheers. So, well, that's super smooth.
Right?
When I don't do the fizz face after, that's when you know it's a good tequila.
and I'll tell you what. That's the distinction there from good tequila and bad tequila is like, does it go down smooth? Do you get some flavor out of it, or you just burn? Like when it's just straight burn, you're not enjoying it. There's no creativity to it. There's nothing that separates that tequila from anything else. Because if you got the burn, that's a classic tequila burn. You know what I mean? It's the flavor. It's the, more than anything, it's kind of that finish. Like, what are you tasting at the end? Right now, I'm just tasting some awesome tequila. So I'm gonna put a little bit of Trader Joe's sparkling blueberry lemonade in here. But yeah, brother, I'm gonna let you talk about what you got there, and then let the folks know how you get down with palomas, because not everybody knows what a paloma is. So I'll let you talk about that for sure.
Awesome. Absolutely, man. Well, I'm pretty sure your cousin, Rafael, introduced these to me
Right.
back in the day. So
Right.
I've had a few different variations. I mean, what I know to be true was obviously I love grapefruit, anything. I could have a grapefruit in the morning for breakfast. So grapefruit soda, always a good mixer.
Mhm.
Really, I like that bite, the little sourness to it.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing though is, I mean, soda, right? So 24 grams of sugar in that can. And so,
These are baby cans, man.
I know, man, that adds up quick.
It's a lot of sugar.
What I liked about the Paloma Light, I was taught, was leveraging the great powers of Pellegrino sparkling water,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
no calories, gives you that little sparkling goodness, and like maybe like an 80-20 rule, like 80 sparkling water, 20 squirt, just to give it that little grapefruit finish.
Exactly. And Ron's a extended member of our family. He's known, pretty much been a part of my family for a long time, known a lot of my cousins, and group kind of hung out with us for many, many years. So before he was with JVM, before he was cold calling me, he's been a brother of the fam. So we've introduced him and embraced him. And if we introduce you to Palomas and let you have some of our good tequila, we know we like you. So
Absolutely. No, I mean, the amount of hangovers you saved me over the years, considering like I was drinking Jose Cuervo Gold until the age of 24 or something, whatever it was, man.
Those two words are forbidden. Jose and Cuervo are forbidden in my house.
Want some squirt?
No, I'll save it for the Terramana. I'll save it for the Terramana for sure.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
It doesn't taste all that bad.
Yeah, you should
Too much
plug their TJ sparkling water. I mean, that stuff's.
If you guys haven't drank this before, this is a nice little refreshing drink. There's no calories, sparkling water, and it's naturally flavored with blueberry lemonade. So one of my faves at Trader Joe's. If you don't go to TJ's, then sorry,
You should.
we're spoiled. Yeah, you should.
We got one right down the street.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I pretty much live there. But yeah, brother, I mean, it's cool that you embraced it. It's cool that you like it. Not a lot of people like the citrus. Obviously, when you're drinking tequila, there's citrus involved. Obviously, you see people drink shots and they take eat a lime or squeeze a lime afterwards. Excuse me, but I'll be honest with you. You don't need if you don't like if it's good tequila, you don't need the lime. It doesn't. You're disrespecting the tequila if you're getting that lime. So same kind of thing. Like if you go to a steakhouse and you're at a good steakhouse. I'm not talking about like Outback Steakhouse. I'm talking about like good steakhouse, and they bring out the steak. If you ask for A1, sir, you're breaking the rules, or madam, you're breaking the rules. You're not supposed to ask for that kind of stuff when the steak is supposed to be prepared to be eaten by itself. There's no reason you should slather it in sauce. And same kind of thing in golf. if you're hitting off the fairway, don't tee up. That's just the thing. Like, you're not supposed to do that kind of stuff. Like,
It's just not legal too.
That's
Like, I
not
mean,
legal.
your friends are not going to be happy with you if you do that. So,
You know, I saw someone doing that the other day, and I was kind of like, should I say something or should I not? And I was like, you know what? I was there once before. I won't say nothing. So same kind of thing, like tequila, like if it's good stuff, like I'm talking about, like, you know, we've talked about it on the show before. There's a really good economical bottle. You've seen it at all the parties. Centenario is one of the best ones you can get.
that's what I started on.
Most bang for your buck, right? Like, you're paying 35, 40 bucks at most. That bottle's going to taste not as good as 1942, but very comparable. You're not going to really be like, oh, this is really bad tequila, or like, you're not going to, it's not going to rub you the wrong way, I should say. So ultimately, what I wanted to say to you guys is find something that you guys like and stick to it. You know, as long as it's in your price point, as long as you guys feel confident and comfortable taking that to a party, you want people to talk about you. Obviously, it's a conversation starter. Like, it's that same thing when you bring a bottle of wine to a dinner party. So make sure that you're researching these things. If not, hit me up. I got you guys. I'll let you know whether or not to buy. I got a lot of buddies and guys and girls that hit me up all the time. They're like, hey, have you tried this? What do you know about this? And as you guys can see or may not see, I'm over here also cross-marketing Herradura Tequila as well. So that's another one of my favorites.
That's the JVM office special. We drink that Ultra on Fridays. That's notoriously on top of our fridge. We always got a few of them.
You just asked me to invite you to my home, and you haven't invited me to your office for these events. Like, what's going on?
I mean, if I get an invite to that bar, you are definitely invited to
I don't know
JVM.
I know you guys are drinking Ultra Herradura Ultra on Fridays. Dude.
Yeah, no,
dude.
Jay makes sure we do it right. Same thing. He can't have his team hungover the next day, right? So he treats us right.
Yeah, man, you have to get the good stuff. You have to get, you know, stuff that doesn't have all these preservatives. I mean, all these additives. You know, Cazadores used to back in the day be a very good tequila before it was sold to Bacardi. It was once owned. I mean, Jose Cuervo is the master tequilero. Like, Jose Cuervo's name's on everything. We're not talking about their shitty tequila. We're talking about their name, the brand. So they pretty much have their hands in every big tequila company. You're talking about Don Julio, you're talking about Herradura, you're talking about all these big companies are owned by Jose Cuervo. So it's kind of like that's the family tree, and then each branch has a different tequila, what have you. But ultimately, they all come back tied to Jose Cuervo. So you just got to do the research. You got to find stuff that, you know, treats you right. You're not gonna, for me, that's why I don't drink vodka anymore, because it doesn't treat me right. So I stopped. I gave it up, and all I do is I drink what treats me right, and it's tequila. As long as I'm having a good tequila, as long as I'm mixing it with some sparkling water, and I'm not overdoing it with the sugar, you're gonna be completely fine. So tips and tricks for you guys. So ultimately, I would say that enjoy it as, you know, as much as you can without going overboard. But as long as you're drinking a nice tequila that's aged or ultimately has, you know, a really good flavor, and ultimately doesn't treat you wrong the next day, I say go with it. You know what I mean? It's all about your palate too. It's kind of like wine, you know what I mean? You can't, you know, not everyone's gonna have the same flavor. Not everyone's gonna taste everything the same. So I would say just really kind of stick to what you know, what you like. Yeah, I think I'm a little just, you rubbed me the wrong way there, bro. You should have told me that you guys are having that kind of tequila parties on Fridays, dude. Now I'm like, where the hell is my invitation, man?
Hey, come through. Come through.
So yeah, I'm gonna be there for sure. And now that means Ron's coming to the house, which, you know, we're gonna need to get you a DD, bro, because there's too much to try, and there's not enough time in the day. So the cool thing is we usually buy one or two bottles of whatever we have displayed, because we want to taste it and we also want to display it. So I mean, there's some bottles that are super cool and unique, but their tequila's shitty. So I mean, yeah, it's a great looking bottle, but not so good in flavor. So ultimately, you know, the good thing over the years that we've kind of distinguished which ones are good, which ones aren't. I mean, and also over the years, they changed ownership. Just like even with one of my faves here in the States, George was George Clooney's Casa Amigos, and then he sold it to some investors overseas, I believe in Asia. So the good thing is they haven't ruined it yet, but ultimately, you know, profits, all that stuff comes into play. It's a business. So, you know, people start to cut corners.
I was going to ask you that too, because I know like Kendall Jenner just came out with their 818, and like the celebrities getting into the tequila space that, you know, don't necessarily have a history or like a, you know, family generational, like this is our farm, you know, so it's just like they're buying and getting into the business.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you've been tasting these tequilas.
Yeah.
Are they on par with what you'd expect from your favorite brands and like at the value, or do you feel like they're cutting corners? I'm always curious just before I get to try some of them.
The first person I saw that was starting to do that, and it was interesting. It was George Clooney first, and then P Diddy, Puff Daddy did it with Avion or Avion, whatever he calls it. I call it Avion, but it's Avion. And then right after that, the ambassador E40 was another big name that started to do it. He did it early on too. He did it around the same time that these other big celebrities started to do it. I will say that I've tried all three. They're all phenomenal. I would think for the price point, probably it's going to be, for me, it's Casamigos for the price point. But I will say that I tried E40's Ecuador the last week or last show on episode 15 with Victor Reyes, my buddy. And I was really impressed. I honestly thought it was going to be a lot worse. And we had a posado and it was good. So you already know, like if it's añejo, it's aged a little bit more. It's obviously going to have a little bit better flavor, a little bit more oakiness to it, a little bit more smooth. But I haven't tasted one yet that has cut corners. I don't even know if at my cousin's wedding, at our buddy's wedding a couple weeks ago, 818 was there. I don't know if I want to touch it. I don't know if I want to try it. Like, I respect the Kardashians, but not for the clout. Like all of a sudden you want to make tequila. I don't get it. You know what I mean? But I know there's money to be made, obviously, but I think I'm going to hold off on that one for now. I've had Michael Jordan Cincoro, very good tequila. But I think my favorite thus far, I think in more bang for your buck is going to be Casamigos. And that's ultimately like if I'm at a bar and my go-to Don Julio isn't there, or Siete Leguas isn't there, or Three Generations isn't there, or Herradura isn't there, then my go-to is definitely going to be Casamigos. And sometimes I just look at it like Casamigos because I know what I'm getting, and I know that that it's a really good, flavorful tequila, and I know what I'm getting. So, but that's what the beauty is right now, and just really interesting to see like this whole movement, man. Like you just brought it up. There's this whole movement of celebrities and like all these new tequilas, and like obviously it makes for a fun time to taste them and everything. But it's been a very lucrative business for many years, and now since the demand is there, and every influencer is either having a Glass Azul bottle or a Don Julio 1942 bottle in their hand, or every bar you go to, every club you go to, that's what they're popping because that's what's sexy right now. Is those big painted bottles from Glass Azul, or that big, it's supposed to be made to be looked like it's supposed to. The shape is supposed to be like a leaf of the agave, the cactus. So those are the ones that ultimately people are gravitating towards because that's where the cloud is. That's where the demand is. Like people, there were times during COVID, bro, because for me, for every client, I buy them a bottle of something, and it's usually tequila. I know if they like tequila, I'm gonna buy them a bottle of tequila because it's something that that we talked about, something that's personal between us, and ultimately, I hope that one day we get to share, and celebrate with one another. So, I don't always buy the cliche champagne or the sparkling wine or whatever. It depends on the client. I get to know them throughout the process, but there were times during COVID, I couldn't even find a bottle of 1942. It just pissed me off.
The supply chain.
The supply chain. So not only, obviously COVID, people are not working as often, stuff like that. But ultimately what happened was you just had the demand there because of all the celebrities and all that stuff. So it's real. It happens. And, we'll see how long it lasts. I will tell you that right now, if you fly into Jalisco, we're going to be there in a couple months for our buddy's wedding. But as soon as you land, any piece of land has a cactus ground on it. Believe me, it's an interesting thing to see because it's so lucrative. Right now, I believe for I call them piñas, but they're like the pineapple, the little bulb that grows underneath the cactus that they use to distill the tequila from. I think each one is selling anywhere between like $6,000 to $8,000 a piece. But they take like almost 7 to 8 years to mature. So, yes, it's a long maturing process. Obviously, I don't know exactly how much they distill out of one cactus, one agave. But I will say that it's a very lucrative business because the demand is there and it takes so long to harvest the crop. So very interesting. But yeah, it used to piss me off, to be honest with you. I had a gift to give. I went to Bevmo, nothing. I went to the local stores, nothing.
Venmo doesn't have
Total
any sign
Wine,
to sign.
nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, this is not working. And come to find out, obviously, the supply chain isn't there. They're not producing enough to support demand and all that good stuff. So but that's enough about me and my rant and how pissed off it made me. But yeah, brother. So what I really wanted to ask you is like, since JVM says, like, to me, once I heard about JVM, I was like, who the hell are these people? And it was funny because my clients already came pre-approved by JVM, and I was like, who is this? And they're like, oh, they're from Wanna Creek. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I work in Wanna Creek. I don't know about these people. And then, literally as soon as that happened and I closed with I closed that transaction with those clients, one of the smoothest transactions I've ever done in my life. And I've been in this industry for now, this is my 7th year, 6th year full time. So I've come across a lot of pre-approval letters. I've written a lot of offers. I've been involved in the industry, obviously, for a long time, but I haven't had an experience quite like that. I mean, I do have a handful of lenders I work with, and I always have my go-tos that I always refer people. And there's a reason why. And JVM's name is always one of those that they're at the top of the list. And it's because of the way I think, just like the structure, and ultimately just the aggressiveness of JVM understands how we need to be aggressive in this market. So for us to have a lender that knows that and is able to satisfy those kind of wants and needs, it just helps us and our clients separate separate ourselves from the competition. So when they told me, yeah, we can, and for a while it was, we can close in 15 days, and that was like unheard of. And then it became 14, and I'm like, what? How'd you guys shave a day off? But it's crazy how that all works, and the structure. I don't know if you could talk a little bit about it, bro, but I'm already talking too much. I'm gonna start drinking this and let Ron take the mic. So
Yeah, man, absolutely. Well, I appreciate the kind words there, and I've heard the same. A lot of agents, discovering us over the years, where sometimes they didn't know about us, and it was a client that came pre-approved, and I just noticed things were different, but the results were amazing, right? Like you said, that smoothness in the transaction, and that's really what we've been building over here for years, is just driving that consistency, right? Making the mortgage process, which is one of the biggest life decisions that folks make, and obviously realtors know that, doing it day in and day out, but being able to make that process as easy, pain-free, stress-free as possible, right? Like having the right team that can be proactive and know exactly, like you said, get those competitive terms in place so that buyers aren't out there spinning their wheels constantly, and they're putting up strong offers each and every time, so that ultimately we want our agent partners to have to write less offers to get to the win, and of course our clients to find that win quicker too, because we knew, especially in the market over the last 18 months, right, there was a lot of 25 offer situations. When there's 25 offers, that means there's 24 losers and 1 winner each time, right? But anyone that's in this market knows you continue to press forward. When you have that strong pre-approval letter and great terms, like you said, right? Like when a 14-day closing time, calendar days, those are 14 actual calendar days. That's the kind of timeline that can compete with cash. And we've heard so much about cash buyers. I think the statistic was at least like 25 to 30% of transactions this year have been cash buyers. But ultimately, if you can get that financing and still have incredibly tight competitive terms, that's going to keep you confident. And of course, we want our agent partners out there confidently writing offers, making sure our folks are winning.
100%. I think, and I think that the people are always like, well, who's my lender? I'm like, they're all your lender. Like, they're all on your side. They're here to help you. And it's like, I think that's the difference that clients, I think, see right away. But ultimately, I would say that, once they know they got a whole team of people on their side, then they're like, oh, wow. It kind of makes them feel a little bit more comfortable. Like, oh, they have all these people looking out for me. Everyone knows what's going on. And I think it's just the smooth process of, like, once they're pre-qualified or pre-approved, once we enter contract, someone takes over to start to initiate the entire transaction. Then we have, your appraisal specialist. I believe it's Jennifer, correct?
Yeah, we have a full-time team of 3 on the appraisals desk now that just manage appraisals, and that's how we pushing through so far.
See, so you have 3 people dedicated doing that job. Usually it's 1 loan officer doing everything. So you're talking about, and I'm sorry guys, but you're not my only client, and you're not the lender's only client. I'm sorry to tell you that. We love you. We understand that you need to buy a home or sell a home, and we're here to help you. But just know that you're not our only client. So ultimately, when you're texting me or you're texting the lender, they're obviously, or calling the lender, calling me, is like they have other people that they're responsible for as well. Their team members, their other clients, what have you. So I think just the ability to have a specified team for each, I would say that each step of the process, just like streamline everything so quickly, and like you never feel like you're in the dark every time you move on from one process to the next, one step in the process to the next. Ultimately, you're being introduced to the next team member. You have that seamless transition, and I mean, I've never ever had a problem reaching you guys, whether it's text or email. Like there's someone always there. Like I don't know if they have someone in the back, like just on the computer answering emails all day, and they never leave that office. But like literally, you can get a hold of JVM any time of the day, any day of the week, most of the time. But now I'm not saying don't call them at 11:59 on a Friday night.
You just called me at 11:59 yesterday. What are you talking about?
We were playing golf today. That's why. But yeah, I mean, I'll tell you guys what that it's just. I think that's what's the most interesting part of it is the fact that you have somebody dedicated to help you every step of the way, and the fact that the process is so seamless. And at the end of the day, you felt like, oh wow, they took care of me. I understood everything that what happened. And then you got me working hand in hand with JVM, that I've been working with them almost 5 years now. So I know the ins and outs. I know how, we're a great team. We work together very, very well. And ultimately, that's what you need in the industry. You need a great team that's going to help you. It's not just one person. You know what I mean? You need a team of people that's going to help you achieve your goals. And especially in the Bay Area, when housing is so competitive and so limited, obviously, you're going to be bidding for a home. You're not going to be the only one writing the offer. You're not going to be the only one looking at the home either. So when you have somebody that can be very aggressive and give you aggressive terms to kind of maybe nudge that seller in our direction, I think having someone on your side like JVM is just, it's night and day difference. They don't just do new purchases. They also do refinancing. They do everything. I mean, they can do it all, you guys. They can do VA, they can do FHA, they can do conventional. They are essentially, you guys working like a broker, but there's not just one lender. I'm telling you guys, it's an entire team. So I think that was the beauty of it. I think that's the beauty of it. And ultimately, I think that's kind of, for me, the icing on the cake is the competitiveness that we're able to work together to really make your offer stand out with. And that's one strategy along with many others that I use to help my clients get their offers accepted when this market's as crazy as it is, bro. So
absolutely. And, we've always said at JVM, we like to position ourselves as the cross between Nordstrom and Walmart in the lending space, right? Where
that's interesting.
they're selling clothes historically, right? Like Nordstrom, you can go return it whenever you want. You don't need a receipt. Yeah, great customer experience. The salespeople are amazing, but that pair of jeans is $150, right? Like you're not going to get a deal at Nordstrom. But you go to Walmart and everything's $2.99 on discount, but maybe it's impossible to find somebody in the store if you need help, right? They may be understaffed, like they work on the margins. So with lending, 10 years ago when we created this different team model, we wanted to mesh the benefits of both those experiences, right? That 5-star service, having that awesome relationship, getting incredible terms on the deal, like Nordstrom gives their folks with returns.
Right.
We're doing the same with quick closing times, offering 7-day-a-week availability and communication. But ultimately, too, you still want Walmart, right? We're not all, most of us are going to look for a deal whenever we're searching for anything, regardless of whether it's $1 million home or, a $20 shirt, right? We always want the best price. With our model and how we work, because we're not all loan officers and we actually work as a team of specialists, we don't charge the traditional like commission structure, right? Typically,
Right.
You're going to pay points on your loan. There's no free lunch, right? Like the LO is usually charging their buck in your bottom line costs.
Correct.
Our compensation works completely differently, so we're actually able to directly save folks rates on the rates. Usually, it's 0.25% lower than the national average, if not more.
Yeah.
Especially in the jumbo space too. Our rates are incredible right now. So,
and that's another reason why JVM is one of my go-tos as well. Like that's another main reason. Like I understand you can go on your phone, you can go on Rocket Mortgage or Quicken Loans, whatever it is, and pull it up and get all these things. But there's no live person there, guys. There's no one that's going to really help you. There's no team there. They're not local. They're just, someone working for this main, crazy big corporation. So ultimately, yes, you're going to get great rates, but every time JVM has been involved, they usually beat them 9 times out of 10, or, mainly, I would say mostly all the time. Someone's like, oh, I got this awesome rate with Quicken Loans. I'm like, have you called JVM, the folks I referred you to? Oh no. And then 2 days later, I get a little, oh, he's been pre-approved with JVM. I'm like, I knew it, and it's like, and I'm looking at, if I'm not giving you guys these resources, then I'm not I'm not a good agent or a great agent or whatever you want to label me as. I'm not doing you a service if I'm not telling you these awesome resources that are available to you. If I'm holding back, there shouldn't be a reason why I'm holding back, but ultimately I should give you these options. I don't just say work with JVM. I say, here are a few names, talk to them, call them, have a great conversation with them, see what they offer you, see what, if there's any incentives that they have. And I think, are you guys still running your promotion right now?
We are, yeah. So
Plug right
through
here.
the end of December 31st, right? So through the end of the year, we are offering all our clients that close a loan with JVM $1,000 off on a closing cost credit, right? So we'll credit that back to your closing. Might be a refrigerator, something of the sort. We just want to help check something off your list, make it that much more feasible to get your home, get everything you need, and enjoy that beautiful new home.
$1,000, that's a whole lot of tequila, y'all.
That's true. I mean,
$1,000, that's a lot of tequila, you guys. So that's another great reason JVM's offering this amazing incentive as well through the end of the year. So contact them, contact me. I'm happy to put you guys in touch with Ron, with any of their team members. Obviously, I want you guys to have access to every amazing resource that I have access to. So that's why I'm sharing it. That's why I invited Ron to come and talk. I've had other lenders come on as well, folks that I trust and know and they're going to do a great job as well. So ultimately, I always want my clients to have an option, and they always can work with who they feel more comfortable with. At the end of the day, it's not always the number. Some people have more comfort in working with some folks over others, and that's totally fine. That's why I always offer the option of, here are some folks I should think that you work really well with, and I think that you should talk to. So ultimately, that's one of the main reasons why they're on that list. So.
You bring up a good point, Ricky, because I know a lot of people don't realize this, but you have when you're shopping. So Ricky gives you a list of a few folks. I recommend talking to all of them, because you have a 45-day window where you can pull from multiple lenders, and a lot of folks worry about, oh no, that's going to hurt my credit. The the credit reporting services don't actually ding you for within that 45-day window, because they understand, they want you to shop, compare several options, get the best rate. So if you pulled one or two and you're thinking, okay, I just want to go with that because I don't want to do that much more work, or I don't want to screw up my credit, make sure you figure out that window, and lean on your agent too, and make sure you've done your due diligence, because at the end of the day, if you've already come in with an option, the only thing, looking at a couple more and just making sure that that is the strongest option to go with, it's going to make you that much more confident in the experience and jumping in and making an offer. So I'm a huge proponent of shopping, like you said, relationship building, figuring out what works for you.
Yeah. So you said it's 45 days from the day you pull that, or you have that first hard inquiry, or how does that work?
Right. So within, I'd say from when you pull that first inquiry, you have the 45-day window. Perfect. So, just make sure you don't jump out of the market for a couple months, come back on day 90, because that's when it can start to pull down the credit score a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I tell my clients, 30 days, because margin of error kind of thing.
And that's probably smart too, just to make sure.
So I say, you guys have about a month. So, talk to these folks. Once you pull that first credit score, and I always tell them too, like, if you're not ready to move forward, you just want hypotheticals, then give them hypothetical numbers. And if you're like, oh, wow, this is actually exactly what I thought, or maybe even better than what I thought, 9 times out of 10, I tell my clients, it's going to be way better than what you think. Because especially when I meet with my clients through the whole buyer consultation, kind of this discovery period, getting to know them, what their goals are and all that stuff. Like, they're telling me what they make. I'm like, guys, I don't need to know all these things. But when they're telling me these things, I'm like, you guys are way qualified. Like, there's no question. You guys should start the process, see where you land, see what you can afford, see if it makes sense. If it doesn't, it doesn't. The best time to buy is when you're ready. People, when should you buy? I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you when the market's going to go down. I will tell you that interest rates will be going up. Like, that's inevitable. So if you need to refinance, if you're looking to purchase, let's do it now. You're going to kick yourself later if you don't. And I'll tell you, if I'm not taking my own advice, then I'm, pretty much a snob, and I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing. So I am also taking my own advice. I'm going to be buying my next property in these next couple of months, because I know before the end of this year, we're going to start to see it tick up and start ticking up. And it's what goes up must come down, what goes down must go up, guys. So it's not going to remain this low forever. So if you're looking to take advantage of these rates, if you have a home, you're like, maybe I could save a little bit of money, but you're not sure yet, call JVM, call me. I'll put you in touch with some amazing lenders. They'll work with you. But ultimately, I mean, if you can save some money, why not? And ultimately, if you're buying a home and you could save or, you know, get $1,000 credit, then why not? Ultimately, there's resources and tools out there for you guys. Just make sure you utilize them, that you talk to agents, you talk to lenders. Like, don't just settle for one person. Like, even when you're shopping for a realtor, I don't expect everybody to love me and want to work with me. I mean, I do incentivize you guys with great gifts.
He's a good guy. I mean, if you're finding some issues, like, that might say something about you.
Yeah. Oh, well, I hope not. I hope not. But ultimately, like, I think that's the number one priority when you're looking to buy or sell a home or do any type of real estate. You have to have a great team behind you. You have to trust them. They have to trust you. There's honesty has to be there. There's no time to sugarcoat anything. This market moves way too fast. I don't have time to lie to you guys. I don't have time to do any of that, you know, stuff. Like, if we're looking for a home for you, we're going all in. We're going to search for it. We're going to go open houses. We're going to, you know, go do showing. We're going to do our due diligence. Ultimately, I want you guys to feel comfortable in your home search and feel confident about the purchase you're making. So that's why I'm always really going back to just having all those resources available to you, making sure that you're confident and comfortable. Because at the end of the day, when you move in, all I want you talking about is where you're going to put your couch, where you're going to sit down and drink beer and watch your baseball game, football game, or your favorite soap opera, whatever you're doing. But ultimately, we want you to be very, very happy with your purchase, because ultimately, at the end of the day, we want you guys to say great things about us. You know, the last thing we want you to do, because we already know when something bad happens, you tell like everybody and their mom, versus like if something good happens, you're telling a couple people. So we don't want you to go spread bad stuff about us. We don't want you to essentially have a bad experience. And, you know, I'll be honest with you, not everybody approaches this industry the same. That's why I always offer options, and ultimately I'm always here to listen, lend my ears to you, and here to just be a resource and help you guys out, same way JVM does. And that's why I put my clients in touch with folks like JVM, because I know that they work the same way I do. They're looking out for you, and ultimately they have your best interest in mind. So
yeah, and when the proof's always in the pudding too, right? I say, Ricky, because we're gonna of course say great things about ourselves, but if you Google Ricky the Realtor, if you Google JVM Lending, you'll see the over 1,000 5-star reviews we have on hand, and Ricky's 5-star reviews across the board, right? So I always encourage too, as you're building your partnerships and looking for who's on your team, make sure you do that research and see what other happy clients or dissatisfied clients you're saying out there before you decide to partner with somebody.
I agree, brother. I agree. And with that being said, I think we're due for our next tequila.
I'm in.
I think we're diving into the rocks tequila now. Let's do it.
If you smell.
I'm actually really excited to try it. Dude, he even
Let's
signed the back of it too. You guys see this? Dwayne the Rock Johnson right there on the back.
That's literally how I figured it out too. I didn't know anything about the bottle when I
really
first purchased it, and then I was like, Dwayne Johnson. That's the only Dwayne Johnson I know. It's gotta be the Rock.
Yeah, I'm definitely super looking forward to tasting it, man. So let me just correct a couple things here. There we go. I was seeing split images of myself, and it was kind of getting a little annoying. All right, so let's try this bad boy out. All right, so we have people popping in and out, but if you guys have questions about anything, let us know. We're moving on to tequila now. We just had a great conversation about some real estate resources available to you for lending and all that good stuff, and there's plenty of it out there. So don't feel pressured to go with one lender. You're just like you shouldn't feel pressured to go with one realtor, just work with one realtor. If that realtor is not a good fit for you, then maybe you should move on. Don't sign anything either. If a realtor tells you you need to sign an agreement, they're lying to you. Only if you're selling. All right. So we got some Terramana. I hope that's how he calls it. I think that's what he calls it.
So Reposado, just so I believe it's within a year, right? Aged, and then it's
a little
over
bit-
a year is on
A little bit less than that. I would say 6. You're about Blanco is like straight virgin. That's why it has that clear color. You typically comes out in that clear color first, and then they put it in barrels specifically. They'll put it in whiskey barrels and all different barrels essentially give different flavors, right? But I believe it's between 2 and 3 months is when it's reposado. And then between like 4 to 6 months, it's añejo. A cool little factoid here is I believe, and I'm probably going to get corrected later, but one of my clients and cousins actually works for Glass Azul. He's an accountant for them. And he told me that their reposado, I mean, Glass Azul just goes above and beyond, guys. The bottles, the tequila, I mean,
There's nothing like digging the top of the bottle and taking a shot.
and
I mean, that's an experience.
It is too. It is. And if you guys order a shot and the bartender does not ring that bell on the top, tell me better.
Don't pay for that shot.
Don't pay for that
Is that
shot.
what you're? Is Ricky
Pretty
saying
much.
steal that shot?
I would say drink it and then be like, where's the ring at? Because that's the key. Like if you're ordering Glass Azul, like you're not paying $5 a shot, guys. If you're paying a hefty amount, they better ring that bell. And little tidbit. So I'm gonna go on a tangent here before I answer or go back to my original statement here.
Tequila tangent.
Tequila tangent. So the actual top was not meant for that purpose. So originally, I have some of the original Glass Azul bottle. I'm telling you guys, we've been collecting for years. We have the original ones. If you know somebody who has an original one, ask them to see it. Open up the top. It's rough inside. Like it's not polished or finished or anything. It's super rough. So if you try to ding it, it won't. It like varies ever so slightly, but it won't ding as well as these new bottles. Now, if once you buy a new bottle, lift it, look at it, it's polished and clean on the inside, right? So now that allows the sound to obviously to create the sound. So that's a little spin-off, little history for you guys about Glass Azul. But going back to my original statement is that their reposado is aged, I believe, about 6 months, 5 to 6 months. So their actual reposado is aged almost the same amount of times as many people's añejos.
Okay.
And their añejos are, I think, about a year, if I'm not mistaken. And then I will tell you guys that I had a little taste of the Ultra. The Glass Azul Ultra is a black bottle. The little signature agave in the center is actually made of 100% or 925 silver. It's actual silver that's on that bottle. That's why that bottle is like $1,200. So that and then
$1,200.
$1,200.
You had a shot of it before?
Yeah.
Man, I gotta hang out with you. I mean, I know I'm like friends, but I didn't know. Whatever you did to get
Whenever I go to visit my client, I'll invite you. Like, oh, Ron's here.
Yeah. You just wanted to show up for one shot and then you sleep. That's it.
The thing is that I always tell my cousin too. I was like, dude, I can't go to your house every time. I can't walk in the door. She's like, why not? I think, dude, because every time I walk out, I'm always drunk when I leave. And it's true because he has access to all these amazing bottles. Obviously, he works for the company. He has access to all this stuff. But he let me try it, and I will tell you, it's probably one of the best tequilas I've had because of the experience. Like you're drinking it out of a handcrafted bottle that has a silver agave in the middle, and it's actually painted with platinum. So the actual painting of it's actually painted on with platinum. So when they go to cast the actual clay and it comes back, and that's why when you look at that bottle, if you research it, it has like these little, it's painted with like silver, but it's actual platinum. And it's crazy because when they paint it on, it's all black. So these ladies, ladies are the one, Glass Azul also does an amazing thing where they hire women that are single women that are going to school, stuff like that, women that need support. They're hired by Glass Azul to help paint the bottles and all that stuff. And they paint them in Tepa. And they paint them in Tepa and Guadalajara. But it's a very, very it's an interesting process when they're painting the Ultra bottles, because when they're painting it on, they're painting black on a black bottle. So they're not going to really see the detail until they cast it. So it's very detailed the way they paint it. And like I said, they're not going to know exactly the way it's going to look until they actually fire it. So it's a very interesting thing. But I think it's aged for like something ridiculous. I think it's like 2 years. Two or more years. And obviously it's the process of making it, the aging of it. So before that hits the shelf, it's already been aged at least, I think, 2 or 3 years. I can't remember how much, but it was something crazy where I'm like, what? So you're talking about not only does it take 8 years to grow the damn thing, then to actually distill it, and then they age it for an additional 2 or 3 years. You're talking about by the time that when you plant that agave with Glass Azul to the time they make their Ultra tequila, you're talking about it's probably a 10 to 11 year process. So there's a lot of thought, a lot of ultimately a lot of love that's involved in the tequila making, because it's not it's not like you can't just throw some hops into a big pot and make beer. You can't just do that. It's not the same. Same thing with there's some great whiskeys out there, obviously, that are aged many years too. But I mean, obviously, it doesn't take that long for if it's corn whiskey for that. Corn's made from or whiskey's made from corn and potato and different all kinds of other stuff, right? Mainly corn and stuff like that. So it's like it doesn't take that long to grow the product. With tequila, it's just a much longer process, and ultimately that's why it's so desirable. And I think more than anything, it's just kind of the celebrities is what has really brought more attention to the actual industry of tequila, which is really, really, really fun to see. So, all right, man, I'm gonna join you. You got your shot?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do a Paloma. So you go and squirt first, or you go? What do you do first?
I'm gonna try it again.
Okay, let's do that.
So,
Let's do that. That's
just
right. I think that should be normal on the show. Like we should try it straight first, and then we'll go from there. Salud.
Salud.
Ooh.
Okay, so that one, the reposado's got a little bite to it, but it's a respectful bite. It's not
it does
sneak
not
around the corner and bite you.
Let me ponder on this for a moment here.
It is good though. I mean, I think it was like $35 bottle. It was actually better than I expected.
So what I'm told is when you take a shot, you have to breathe in and let so you're not like holding it in, and you get that kind of cloud kind of thing going on, or it's like kind of feels like it's stuck here kind of thing. Actually, it has really, really good taste, bro. At the end, it has like that really good taste. I think obviously it's a little harsher because there's reposado. So as soon as you take the shot, like for me, as soon as I took it, I got a little bit of an afterbite, like you said, but then it just kind of went away.
Yeah, I mean, it's solid. I think what's it say?
$35.
Oak barrels, yeah.
It's not bad.
Copper pots still. So
cheers to the Rock.
Hey, the Rock,
the people's champ.
Yep, the people's elbow. It's been a while. I know, I miss the Rock.
Oh man, he's doing big things, man. He's doing big things. He has tequila. He has his.
He's the biggest movie star in the world now,
dude. The dude is beloved by Disney now. Like, I mean, I think once Disney opens their doors to you, you're legit. So, yeah, I mean, he's
a little bit easier to root for than the Kardashians and their 818 tequila. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, see, I mean, it's gonna take me like we were talking about it too. It's like they're like, Ricky, well, what if there's no more tequila? I'm like, I might just stop drinking. I don't know if I'm gonna touch that 818.
I tried that 818 reposado. I think at the wedding, and I was pleasantly surprised. Now I was like 5 or 6 tequilas deep.
See,
maybe
that
affected my thought process, but
there's still a judgment there.
Hey, I was of sound enough mind to be like, this is pretty good tequila. So
did you mix it or you just took it straight or what?
I'm pretty sure we took a shot and then we mixed it.
Okay,
but it's like what, $30-$40 bottles, probably like on par with rocks.
Pretty much. Yeah, right about that. I think it's gonna take a little warming up for me to drink that one, but definitely I'm gonna and I'm drinking it. I might just review it on the show here one time. So I think that's what we're gonna do every show now. I think we should bring a new bottle of tequila, and we've been doing that lately. So I think that'd be kind of cool. I'll bring a little something maybe from my collection, maybe bring a little something new. I think that'd be kind of cool little contrast. So
one sip, everybody knows the rules, scored on a scale of 10. No one's ever thought of that idea, right? You can just do it for tequila.
I usually do it, yeah. Steal it from Bleacher Report, or no, Barstool. It's Barstool, right? The pizza,
yeah.
The pizza, yeah. What's the press? The name is it called the press?
Yeah, Portnoy, Dave Portnoy.
Dave Portnoy, that's right. Well, I think that we're almost done, man. I mean, at this point, I'm probably gonna make myself a little paloma with this Terramana.
Yeah, I heard you and Victor got down after the last show, so hopefully we're gonna keep this thing rolling. I mean, tomorrow's a work day, but
the sun is still out.
It's only 6:30.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think, and then when I did these, I'm like, oh, Thirsty Thursdays, Tequila Thursdays, Tequila Transactions. Like I was like during COVID, obviously I had a little bit more time on my hands. I'm like, oh, I don't know, I was like Thursday. And before it used to be at 4:00, and everyone was like, yo, we're getting faded at 4. I'm like, you're right. Let's push it to 5:30. Just because I feel like everyone's getting off work at 5. People get home around 5:36, and they can at least catch some of the show. And ultimately, just want to bring some amazing people like Ron and talk about his company and just bring people on that I respect in the industry, let them talk about themselves and, how they got started and just, more than anything, just provide some insight into a resource that you may be needing to use now or in the near future. So that's the whole premise of the show. And obviously, why not, share a little glass or two tequila? Why not? And so that was the whole premise of the show and why we decided to do this. So now I think it's awesome to just kind of get together now, especially now that hopefully things are trending in the right direction with COVID and, things are kind of getting a little better and, hopefully everything continues the way it's going. But just way to kind of reconnect with folks. And like I said at the beginning of the show, kind of just brings people together, so.
Yeah. Hopefully our audience had their tequilas in hand too, right? With the time switch, 5:30, no excuses. Hopefully you're sipping something nice.
Yeah. If you don't at least have a beer in your hand, my man, or ladies, have a little glass of wine or some rosé or something. It's a little something to unwind to, just kind of learn a little bit, something different, learn something new, just kind of, change things up a little bit. So ultimately, that's what we're here to do, help you guys out, provide resources for you and help you in your journey, whether you're buying, selling, leasing, investing, whatever you're going to do in real estate, we're here to help you guys. And I'm going to let Ron introduce, or not introduce, but I'm going to let Ron tell you guys where to find him, where to find JVM, how the best way to get a hold of him. So if you guys are looking to purchase, if you're looking to get pre-qualified, if you're looking to refinance, this is the man to talk to. He'll put you in touch with the right people. So where do they find you, brother? And ultimately, how do they get a hold of JVM Lending?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're a client, you can always jump on jvmlending.com. Definitely recommend sending there. Our phone number and email line is right there and available too. So if you need to reach out, we truly are available 7 days a week. We staff licensed mortgage analysts on Saturdays and Sundays. So if you need help then, you refer it over, we'll talk to you same day. But otherwise, for our realtors, so maybe your fellow colleagues in the industry, again, on the team, that's who I work with directly. So if you are interested in learning more about JVM and what it can do for your clients and what our lending services can do to help you win more offers, and especially too on, like I said, I do a lot of lead generation, SEO strategizing, systems help. So I know there's usually a lot of agents that are busy and could use a few of those things, kind of back of house items, working with them. So if you all need any help, feel free to reach out to me directly. My number is 925-426-3858, 925-426-3858. Ron Pratte, Business Development Officer here in Walnut Creek for JVM Lending.
Awesome, man. And a lot of their services are free, guys. They're not going to charge you nothing. They're just looking to help you grow as an agent, help you get better, help you just also provide resources and information and, other items that can help you and be beneficial to your business. Obviously, I took advantage to pretty much everything that JVM put in front of me. So there's still a lot more stuff that I haven't tapped into. So that goes to show you that there's so much tools and resources available. And, I think that's also another great reason why, to work with you guys, because you guys actually care about the relationship. It's not all about the client always. I mean, obviously it is, but at the same time, like, we scratch your back, you scratch ours. And that's, the beauty of business relationship, it should be reciprocal. So I think that's an awesome thing, is that they're looking to help us grow. At the same time, as we grow, we get more clients, help JVM by sending them their way. So I think it's a beautiful circle of life there. So yeah, brother, cheers once again. Thank you for coming on, bro. I appreciate you very much. And this was episode 16 of Tequila and Transactions. Appreciate you guys very much for jumping on. If you guys have questions about anything that we spoke about today, holler at me, reach out to JVM Lending. It's Ron Pratte. He's your go-to for all you agents out there as well. So holler at us if you need us. And you guys have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Salud.
Salud.